Well, hey there, YouTube. Exciting news, exciting projects. So, my scrap yard, which is conveniently located about 400 yards from the farm I work at. Life is good, right? They were changing ownership, so I wasn't able to buy scrap for a while they kind of got reorganized. Went back in there, same as usual. They say, hey, walk on in there, take a look, grab what you want, drive it to the little scale out back, and weigh it up. And who doesn't love going through a junkyard? So here's what I scored, and am going to continue scoring. So we got here, before your very eyes, this 2-inch by 1-inch rectangle tubing, and I measured it. It's .108, which I'm going to say is 13 gauge. I think it's 13 gauge, so kind of thin-walled stuff for stick welding for the old Lincoln. But I did some experimenting with some this is .088 stuff, which I ran with some 6013 just to kind of see what I could do welding some thin stuff. And I think I got kind of a hold on how to do it. Here's some of that. This is joined together. Oh, whoops. That's not supposed to be in there. That's just whatever. So anyways, I think I got it kind of dialed in with amperage and stuff, welding this thin stuff. So, moving on. There's probably 50 pieces of this stuff. They're all the same size. I haven't measured them. They're probably 6 feet and some change. And at 20 cents a pound, I think I'm probably just going to buy all of them, because I found at the scrap yard it's hard to find stuff like this, like a good length, you know, and also a lot of it. So probably pick up all this stuff, because this is going to be some really handy stuff to have. Some chop saw stands, some tool stands. Moving on. Ooh, look at that. That's all scrap. That's all from the scrap yard. Isn't that a beautiful thing? All stuff I'm going to make into something else. Anyways, so today we're going to build a shelf, because in this corner of the shop, in this corner of the ring, I would like to put a shelf. Just to kind of, I need to put some stuff on there. Well, of course I need to put stuff on there. It's a shelf. I just need to get a little more space in here. So, a good shelf. I've got some lathe, which you'll see later in the video. It's dark outside, so I can't show it to you on camera. I'll show that to you later. That I'm going to use for the actual platforms of the shelf. So, coming up with the design. Pretty simple. We got our legs here. Okay. And these guys here, here's our legs. And then we have, this is going to be the frame of each tier of the shelf. As you can see, there'll be these on the inside. Those on the outside, they butt up. And what I'm gonna do, I found this is the kind of stuff you got to think about, is the steps that you're going to build everything. So what I'm gonna do is build each tier of the shelf. So I'm gonna build it's probably gonna be 3 or 4 tier shelf. So I'm just gonna build you know, 3 or 4 of these just frames, and then I'll just be welding these frames to the legs, because I'll be able to lay the legs flat on the ground, lay these on there. They should square themselves vertically, and I'll just square them horizontally with a little, you know, speed square over there, and we'll just kind of put it together like that. But you'll see how it goes together. Pretty simple. This stuff's pretty rusty. Today I blasted all of like the real crumbly rust off with my where is it? With my wire wheel on the angle grinder. So, you know, I'll do a little grinding, clean up the welds, It's thin stuff, so, and I don't know, I'd like to, honestly, on this project, I would just use 6011 and go through that little bit of surface rust that's there and just, you know, call it a day. But it's kind of, it might be kind of thin for 6011 because that stuff, you know, it definitely is made to penetrate. But I've been liking using this 6013 on the thin stuff, and I've kind of got the amperage figured out and how to run it the best. So, you know, we'll just prep some welds, do a quick little grind. We won't make them perfect, they don't need to be, but at least clean enough to get a halfway decent 6013 weld. So that being said, let's get to it. Well, before we do anything, we should probably figure out the dimensions of our shelf. Gonna be kind of on the fly here. Let's do 26, guys. Yeah, we'll do a 26-inch wide by six. We'll go 16 deep. So 26 wide, 16 deep. So I'm gonna start cutting out these parts here. I'm gonna cut six 24-inch pieces, six 16-inch pieces, and we're gonna use the abrasive saw. So, oh man, turn on the fans and hold on to your butts. Don't forget the bug spray, guys. Okay, we got all our 24s cut. Now, what was my measurement? Oh, 16s. Now onto the 16. Alright guys, and just like that, we got all the pieces cut. Our 24s and our 16s for our tiers. So now the fun part, we're going to start putting them together after we clear off our table. Okay, table's cleared off. Now, I'm going to lay everything out. I'm going to mark where I need to grind for my welds. I just kind of visually, you know, look at it. And start doing some welding. Okay guys, I know my grinding method may not be politically correct, but you know, whatever. So yeah, I did kind of a quick once over. It'll be good enough for government work. Looks good from my house, right? Okay, so now we're gonna lay this out, start laying some tacks. It's all going to be 6013. As you can see, this is some thin little stuff. It's a thin little guy. So, let's get to it. Alright guys, got the Lincoln fired up on 90 amps. 90 amps with these Lincoln 332nd 6013s. We got some sort of flashing lights outside. Ooh, what's this about? I don't know. Whatever. On with it. Tacking is a good time to kind of get a feel for your amperage too, which 90 amps seems like it's gonna run fine on this. So I'm gonna run this first fillet weld now that I have the tacks on this joint and give it the real test. Well guys, I got a little too confident and burnt the crap out of it. I'm gonna go 75 on this. Gosh dang it. Well, I did a successful 75 amp pass. I moved pretty quick. I'm gonna go a little slower next time because it's a little quicker than I'd like to go, but you know, I'm kind of getting scared. I don't want to burn through. So, you know, slower you move, more heat goes in the middle. Honestly though, you know, it's gonna hold, so it'll hold good enough for what we're building. So I might just kind of quick blow a little weld in there. You know, it's penetrating, it's holding, so you know, whatever. Alright guys, there's one tier done. Man, I'd really like to run this stuff hotter. This is where it's nice to have a, you know, I only have 15, I can go from 75 to 90 on that welder. And if I could have it about like 80, like 83 or something, man, I bet we'd be in the hot spot. 90 is just a little too hot, 75 is just a little too cold, but 75 is kind of our only option. Before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and retire this grinder blade though. It's lived its day and it has no edge left on it. So, time for a new one. Alright guys, I'm tacking up the last tier here and I'm gonna tack all the pieces together. Boom, 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 because it kind of squares itself. You know, assuming you've cut everything the same length, which I've been checking as I go along. So if it is out of length, I'm still checking with the square, make sure nothing's wonky, but I'm just tacking up all 4 pieces, then doing the actual fillet welds down there in the joints. And that's all I'm doing for these. Oh, hey, how we doing?
Good, how are you today?
Alright.
I'll get out your hair, but that's so much notice.
Alright, man.
On you, but you
okay. Alright. Have a good one. Oh, man, you guys just missed it. So, oh, trailer park drama. Gotta love it. My neighbor, the HOA queen, our trailer park HOA. Oh, man, hold on. I gotta pop a cold Mountain Dew for this one. So my neighbor, she she loves the drama, you know, just one of those people. She had the cops sent out on me tonight. So I was like, well, because, you know, I do try to kind of keep the noise down. Like, I did the chop saw cutting. I did all my chop saw cutting before 10 o'clock. And then, so, you know, I'll have to turn out my grinder and prep some welds. But with the doors closed, that's not really bothering anybody. Besides my lungs. More on that later. So she sends the cops out here. And he walks up. Real cool. He said, hey, bud, he said, look, I'm just here. You're not doing anything illegal. I just want to let you know that your neighbor complained. He said, Cindy, you know Cindy? I said, yeah, everybody knows Cindy. He goes, well, yeah, you know, I've been out here. You don't have any music going or anything crazy like that. To me, you're not doing anything illegal. So, you know, if I were you, you could stay out here as long as you want. So, oh man. And she didn't even call for noise. I said, oh, she didn't even call for noise. He said, yeah, she just called and said that she doesn't think you should be out here this late. I was like, what? What are you talking about? I mean, not him. Like I said, he was super cool. He was just letting me know. Like I said, he said, I'm just letting you know that she complained. That she doesn't think that you should be out here this late. Well, I mean, it's 11 o'clock now. I would prefer to be doing this earlier in the day, but I have 2 3-year-old boys, twins. And as much as I would like to have them out in the shop with me working, they're a little young for that now. And it's kind of hard to seek out to the shop when you have 3-year-old twins inside by themselves and mom's at work and all that stuff. So, you know, she called the cops just out of, I don't know, not even a noise complaint. Oh boy, can't win. Gotta love the trailer park drama. Man, you guys, I'm having a rough go at it. Burnt through on a couple of them. There's some, I gotta figure out on those passes where I don't burn through, why is it not burning through? Is it the position of the rod and the joint? Is it my drag angle? I don't know. I don't think going any colder on amperage is much of an option at this point. We got our last tier welded together, and yeah, that'll probably be it for the night because apparently my neighbor wants me to get plenty of sleep. So you know, I don't want to keep her up, and I don't want to have her worried about me, you know, all night. So tomorrow we'll put on legs and make this actually into a shelf and put on our lathe kind of actual shelf part. So I'm gonna go to bed, and you guys should go to bed too. Well, guys, I kind of took off without you, but when you're watching kids all day, you kind of just got to sneak it in when you can, and if I don't have my camera ready, then sorry. But I kind of realized I'm going to be adding a bunch of stuff to this shelf anyway, so I'll get some more footage for you. I want to put somewhere to hang my grinders. I finally used these kind of hooks that I had forged just for fun. Place for my mask. Went over there for my extension cords. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. I cut this lathe just with a angle grinder, cut off wheel. Cut real easy. That was pretty easy to do. And then I just used some 6011. Bang, bang, bang. Clamped it down. Tacked it. Tacked it. Tacked it. I didn't go overkill on it. You know, enough to hold it in place. But shelf came out not wobbly. I like the spacing I ended up going with. I went with 16 inches between each one, 16 inches on the ground, which gives me plenty of room to put whatever I'm probably going to need in there. And then I got all this space up here, you know, all that kind of headroom. And it kind of worked out to just enough of that scrap that I got. So far, and you know what? Man, the shop seems so much bigger. Oh, one more thing. So I ran the 7018 on the Lincoln at 90 amps, and oh my, I did burn through, but it was only because I was testing the limits of what I could. These guys right here. So yeah, Hobart 7018 AC. Running those at 90 amps, I was able to run this. I was able to get a fat enough bead. I didn't really have to go too fast. Like I said, I burned through, but it was more because I was testing the limits of just kind of how slow I could go. My goal is to really dial in stick welding this thin stuff, because it seems to be a lot of people have questions about it or problems with it. And you know, I'm the kind of guy where if I can do it all with the stick welder, I think that's a cool thing. So that's what I'm going to try and do. But until then, yeah, maybe more updates on the shelf to come. But for now, this is going to conclude this one. So, yeah, keep subscribing, guys. I've been seeing some subscribers come in, and that's a cool thing. That's a really cool thing. So thanks for watching, guys.